Welcome to Unit 2 and Day 7 of Financial Literacy. Unit 2 is about developing a career plan. And since this is the beginning of a new unit, we're going to need to get a hold of the new lesson outline. If you're doing it electronically, you can click on the link. If you're doing it by paper, you need to get a copy from your instructor. If you're doing it electronically, click on the file, come down to make a copy. Put your name in the copy of and click OK. Back in the class activity or the class itself, we're going to start with an activity about it'll eventually illustrate the supply and demand relationship between the levels of education and levels of income. And so the class activity here will show the percentage of students that get various levels of education. And so you can see those changes as it goes down. Once the activity is done, you can watch a short little video and then do the notes here. Each of the PowerPoints in the course is going to have this course flow chart. And so you can see Unit 1 was about the goals and visions of the course. And so you should have some idea of what it is you'd like to accomplish in your life, at least generally, knowing full well that it will change over time. But then you can get, this unit is going to get into the career and choices. So if we've got this vision of what it is we want to accomplish when we have lived our life, we're going to need to know what type of money it's going to take to accomplish that vision. And so that's where the career and choice comes from, is now that we know what we want to achieve and maybe we have some idea of the money that's required to get there, what type of career would generate the funds necessary to provide that standard of living. And then as you can see the next section, what type of college and career choices are we going to need to get there. So that's what this career plan is all about. It outlines the education, the skill development, what we need to do in order to get this career that's going to provide the level of income to have the standard of living that we want. Now, it used to be you'd have a career and it'd last a long time. That's kind of gone away, and now our career is made up of a collection of related jobs. Okay? Now, in all of this, we also don't want to overlook the opportunities for self-employment and entrepreneurship. We're not necessarily going to achieve the financial goals that we'd have in life by working for somebody else. But there is going to be higher levels of risk, although higher levels of return, that come with pursuing entrepreneurial ventures. And that's generally how this kind of works out, is wherever there's higher risk, there'll be higher reward. Wherever there's the risk of getting higher education, you'll have higher lifetime earnings. And this is where our activity earlier in the day and the relationship between how much education somebody had and the income of that is kind of played out. The line chart represents the percentage of people who get those degrees or get those levels of education. So you can see that we have lots of people that really don't pursue a lot of education outside of high school. Okay, so we have high supply of low education. That's going to result in low income. Now, there is kind of an outlier here where you have a large number of people getting bachelor's degrees. And this is where we kind of find equilibrium. And then, of course, those pursuing into even higher masters and doctorates have considerably higher levels of income over time as well. So once you've kind of gone through the PowerPoint, the last thing you need to do is your journal question on risk versus reward and answer the questions there. And that is our Day 7.